Welcome to Ultimate DIYer, and we're going to do a quick review today on the Komsepor floor cutter. Quick disclosure, this floor cutter was sent to me by the actual seller so that I could do a review on it. And I will tell you right off the bat, we loved this cutter. It was awesome. But I'm going to explain to you basically what we did, and I'll probably show some video off to either my right or left here of us actually using this cutter. I had a floor crew on a big project that I was working on come in, and they had their own commercial cutters. And so it was hard to get them to try this cutter in the beginning. They went ahead and tried it, made a couple cuts, and then I couldn't get it away from them. They used it through the whole job. Loved it. So first of all, let me explain a couple things to you as far as how this thing actually works. Okay, first thing to point out about this unit, it's going to come in a box just like this here. You're going to open up the box, you're going to find the table, the head, and the arm are all disconnected, not connected yet at all. And all you're going to do first of all is you're going to take and turn the plate like this, and you're going to slide the head on, and actually, let me turn it, I don't think you can see the screws from there. If you look right here, they're black screws, so they tend to blend, but you'll have a screw here, 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 and here. That is the first step you're going to do. So you'll mount the cutting head. The second step is you are going to mount the actual arm, and that has a set screw right here. So you're going to mount this, get it all ready to go, and then you can actually start using it. Now, to point out some features on this thing, which I really like, the table is extremely heavy duty. It is a plastic type polymer that they're using, but it is very strong. I love the fact that they cut a handhold in it so that you can grab a hold and carry it around. Another thing to keep in mind safety-wise is never stick your fingers through here and try to carry this unit, or even have your fingers anywhere near that. If somebody comes by and hits this bar, you're in trouble. It will take fingers off, so be very careful. But they put a safety mechanism in, which I really like. Take the arm, and you have this little lever. You will, if I find, there it is right there, and it'll lock it into place. So now you can't get your fingers in there, even though you should be carrying it here. But some people I could see grabbing here and trying to put a hand over here. Just don't do that. Make sure it's always locked in place when you're moving it, okay? So that's great. They also have angles already cut and placed here for you. They have a 15, a 22 and a half, a 30, and a 45. So all you're going to do is take your flooring, just as an example, let me move this box. They're going to take the flooring and you are going to angle it onto those angles and push it through. And you can carry a pretty wide piece of material here. This is 13 inches wide all by itself. Matter of fact, there's the 13 so you can see it. But you will cut it, like if I wanted a 15, it would be here. If I wanted the 22 and a half, it's going to be here. 30 here, and a 45 is right here. Now this is where you might have a little trouble if your flooring is really wide. It's got to be able to fit inside of here. So keep that in mind if you're trying to do a 45 here. But even with that, you could still cut that. If it's a super wide piece of material, you could still cut it with a chop saw or whatever you needed to if it did not fit in that angle. But that's going to take most of your flooring sizes so that you can see real good. You can literally measure your flooring with this measure tape. Now, I still prefer to use a tape measure and mark my stuff to make absolutely sure, but you can use this as well. So now, speaking of flooring, this actual machine will cut a lot of different materials, and I'm going to read it off here just so I don't miss any of them, and I'll probably add a couple as well. It will cut PVC, LVT, LVP, VCT, WPC, SPC, vinyl flooring, laminate flooring, engineered wood flooring, and rubber tile. Now we're going to try a couple of these today. I've got some laminate. We've got some vinyl. Now, there are limitations to the thickness of the materials. If it's a vinyl floor, you have 5 millimeter. If it's a laminate, I'm going to have 8. And if it's engineered wood flooring, your limit is going to be 4 millimeter. Anything thicker than that, you are going to have to cut that with a regular saw. But if you were putting a thinner engineered wood floor like I have a piece of today, you could still cut it with this as well. So that's some really cool stuff. It shows that you can do a lot. Now, you can also cut certain sidings, maybe a smart siding or something, like if you're doing siding outside, and save yourself a lot of time. One other thing I found that it seems to work really well on, if you're installing a shower system, like these shower systems made by Weedy or Schluter that are coming in these fine little foam boards. They have a very small concrete type mixture on the outside, but it's very thin, so I don't think that's really going to hurt your blade. And that is another interesting thing about this unit as well. The blades on these are very strong, very well made blades, but you can sharpen the blades if you dull them, which is a great feature as well. But if you're putting in a Weedy shower system, you could still use it on this too. Now, your Weedy boards themselves are generally real wide, but if you're cutting small pieces like this, and say you're wanting to make a niche, you could actually take this, put it in, cut it. Very simple and a very straight line. The only thing here that's still holding for me right now is a little bit of my fiberglass mesh that's on the front. I probably just didn't push far enough down, but you can see it's a great straight cut. So you could do that as well, build a niche with this. You could do siding. You could do pretty much any of that. And there is one other thing, by the way, I forgot to mention a while ago. When I put this together, one thing I did notice is they put extra screws in here for this head. So if you mess up and drop a screw, lose it in the grass, you're outside working. Matter of fact, I did drop a screw when we were working on our project in the carpet and could not find that screw. So they give you an extra set of screws, which is a really nice feature that most people don't do. So I did appreciate that, and I think that's a great little feature. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try cutting a few of these boards. The one that I installed that you're seeing the video run up above has the actual cork backing, and it has the waterproofing. It's multi-layered. This is what we installed in the home that you're seeing the video run up above, and it's made by Nucor, and it cut through the Nucor like butter. So it did a great job. And we are also going to take an actual regular laminate with the rubber backing, and we're going to see how well it cuts these, and we may go ahead and try and cut a couple angles too. So let's do that. All right, guys, so you've already seen me cut through the Weedy board if we were making a niche. Let's go ahead and try that one more time. Let me get it over here, put it down. See, there we go. Super clean cut, exactly what we're looking for. So it'll definitely cut Weedy board, probably Schluter board, any of those shower type, poly type boards. All right, so the next thing I'm going to try is we're going to do a vinyl. This is a vinyl with a cork backing. I'm not sure the thickness on this particular one. It looks fairly average size. So on a vinyl floor, we need to be 5 millimeter or less. I'm pretty sure that is. So let's go ahead, we'll take it in. Let's cut a piece, push down, and there it is. Let's raise it up here. Did a very good job of the cut. Cut's very nice. Really good. Let's try doing let's do a 45. So we're going to take this pass here and we're going to put it on this 45 mark right here. Let's try it. Push down. Now granted, guys, I'm doing this up on a table, so I have a lot of flex. Did a very good job. Looks really nice. Cut a nice 45. So our last one is we are going to try a laminate. Now laminates are supposed to be 8 millimeter, is supposed to be the maximum thickness. This is a 12 millimeter laminate. We'll see if this is going to cut. This is the one I'm a little curious about now. We know it cut through the engineered wood. Let's try this. This is pretty thick. Actually cut through it pretty good. Did a little creasing right here, but did a pretty good job for such a thick material. I don't know if you can actually see that. Yeah, so he did a really good job right there. I'm impressed. And let's look at the blade. Blade looks perfect, no problem. Okay guys, so quick recap, great unit. If I was gonna rate this on a scale of 1 to 5, I would have to give it 5 stars. And if I could give it 6, I would. It's extremely well made. I love the way the company takes care of you by putting extra parts in to make sure you have everything you need, and it cut everything I threw at it. So do yourself a favor, get yourself a Komsepor floor cutter and make your life a little easier.